What's up, y'all? Today I'm going to teach you guys how to transfer. If you're wanting to learn how to transfer toe side or heel side, don't worry, I'm going to go over both in this video, so stay tuned. I'm gonna go over the Toeside Transfer first today just because that's what I filmed first. So yeah, let's just get started. First things first, when going about doing a Toeside Transfer, you're just gonna wanna ride up the box on the transfer box and really just push as hard as you can, about halfway to 3/4 of the way up of the box, and just clear the entire box to the water, or just jump as far as you can and get as high as you can, as much pop as you possibly can on that jump. Once you have figured out a solid pop and a solid amount of air time on the transfer box you're trying to transfer, then you kind of need to look over to the rail and make sure that your board is actually getting higher than the rail you're jumping onto. I sort of assume that most of you guys are not going to want to be riding down the rail backwards, so I'm going to kind of go over a front lip and a front board just so y'all can have both. Now that you're sure that you're jumping higher than the obstacle you're trying to transfer onto, you can change your edge from going straight on to where you're jumping over the box, and instead this time you'll have a slight edge towards the rail you're trying to transfer onto. Depending on how high the rail is that you're trying to transfer onto, I recommend staying at least a foot away from it on the kicker of the box. Just because, you know, you don't want to be clipping or hanging up because you could result in doing a taco. So basically, I'm gonna go over doing a front lip first. Just make sure you have a nice solid medium edge towards the kicker of the transfer box. Ride almost corner to corner up it, but make sure you stay a foot away from the actual rail. But you wanna have a sort of outward momentum so you can transfer from the box over to the rail. So just edge all the way up to it toe side, have that angle going up the kicker, and push as hard as you can, about halfway to 3/4 of the way up so you can get that maximum pop. Make sure that you have gotten a little bit higher than the rail before you turn your board over for that front lip. Once you have done that, then you're in the safe zone. Just come down onto that rail and sort of that front lip position. Bend those knees, ride down the rail, and just do a 90 out and ride away. The same exact thing applies for a front board. You're gonna do everything exactly the same, but instead this time when pushing off, you can just take that front foot and bring it over top the rail and just ride down the rail in that front board position and 90 out and just ride away. A front board is a little bit safer than a front lip because it's a lot harder to hang up, and if you don't have as much pop, it's a little bit easier to get your nose over the rail than to bring that back foot over in that lip slide. All right, so now I'm gonna go over transferring a transfer box in your heels. Obviously this way is a lot easier. Just make sure you do that same thing that I said on your toe side. Just make sure you can really pop and push and gap the entire box and get as much pop as you can so you're higher than the rail you're actually trying to transfer onto. Once you're confident that you can get enough pop off of the kicker of the transfer box that you are actually higher than the rail every single time, then it's actually time to start going for the transfer. Same exact thing as I said for toe side, you're gonna do on your heels. You're gonna have a nice medium edge and try and go almost corner to corner up the kicker on the box of the transfer box, but make sure you stay away from the actual rail about 1 foot. Once you're about halfway to 3/4 of the way up the box, start pushing and make sure you get a solid pop. Once you're higher than the obstacle you're transferring onto, make sure you bring the nose of your board up and over the rail and land board slide position and just ride all the way down it, 90 out, and ride away. I'm just gonna go over a quick little overview of the entire trick of any way you actually do it. Just make sure you have a nice medium edge towards the kicker of the transfer box. Make sure you ride about halfway to 3/4 of the way up. Give it a solid push. Have that nice momentum going over towards the rail. Make sure you took off at least a foot away from the rail to make sure you don't hang up on it. But once you have that momentum traveling over to the rail, just land on it, ride all the way down it, hop off, and just ride away. right, that's going to be it for today. If you guys found this information helpful, make sure you guys go subscribe, give me a thumbs up, make sure you comment on the tutorials you guys want to see in the future, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.